And it's making me soft cry because I just don't have the ability to connect with people right away without the tools. I have this articulation. It almost feels like I can get into their mind and see it and articulate what they are feeling. But for me to raise into that space, it is more the fact that I really try to understand them, and I cannot understand if I don't use the theories, the logics, and other ways of thinking and understanding people. And that's how I know that I don't relate or connect to people the way others do. I really have to put myself in their position, in a sense that I dissociate myself from being me for a second or while, and I put myself fully in their shoes, in their body, and then I think from their perspective, from their perception, how it came across to them, how they felt about it, how it appeared to them. And at one point, after intense feeling, I sort of started making sense of why they were acting the way they were acting, because I have finally connected myself to them, their server, and that makes me feel easier to understand them better. And when I'm able to do that, the dots are finally connected, and I feel like, okay, now I see it, where they're coming from, what they're thinking, what they're feeling. It kind of like comes to me as like a rush of emotions. And when I start speaking all of them, because it's like I got opened up to a portal where I can see them, feel them, literally, like I can experience what they experienced, and it's all coming from the little data points I connected. And it's when I start connecting myself to them in a point where I just started blurting out, it feels like I'm reading their mind so bad that I'm saying how they're feeling, what they're feeling about it. It looks like I'm manipulating, like I'm going into their mind to manipulate them, but no, I'm just trying to feel them. I'm just trying to understand them. And I can see how it comes across as that calculative, manipulative, because most of the times people can just connect. I can't. And I don't have any malice towards anyone. I don't know how I can prove that. Even me trying to talk about like proving it feels like sneaky. Like, why do I have to? Because I get mislabeled as a for so many times, and all I want is to connect with people. And the moment someone says that, hey, this is not what I feel about what I felt, this is what I feel, I'm more than happy to accept that perspective and shift my paradigm. But I need to put myself to their shoes to actually understand and say it in my own words, articulately, of what they are feeling, where they're coming from, what their emotions are coming. Like, it's hard to not being labeled as manipulative when that's the only way you can actually connect with someone emotionally. I feel through other people's emotion. I feel what others are feeling. And to feel that, I have to seek where they're coming from, what their stories, what their previous experiences are, and what made them feel this way. That helps me to connect the dots. Otherwise, like, I'm seeing from here, you're seeing from here, and there's this big disconnect, this space. So here for me, I'm positive, here for you, I'm negative. But when I know those truth points, it's kind of connecting the dot. And that's where my diagnosis comes to help. Like, that's why I try to use my diagnosis so much, because it helps me better to connect with others and see that I am not coming to manipulate you or to impose what I think. Rather, I'm here to understand what you think as truly as possible. And because I understand that there are hundreds of different dimensions of seeing things, and I want to see things from where you're seeing from, I try to gather my thoughts and data points to project it properly to your point of view so that I can see where it is true for you and not for me, or 1,000 other data points and 1,000 other realities and simulation and possibilities. It does not make sense in a typical way. It sounds very ooh, I feel. I can feel it. Even though my words make perfect sense in theory, people are thinking that I'm using another manipulative practice, but my brain is just that how it captures and works. And yeah, having this understanding of having ADHD, autism, and c-ptsd, it makes me feel less bad for not being able to understand others and my ways to approach others. And I know that sometimes it comes off as authoritative and manipulative and negative connotations. And having my diagnosis helps me to take a step back, because I am aware that I might act like this without knowing or meaning it, and that will hurt the other person or make them feel a different way than it is to me. And having those diagnoses makes me come back to my grounded states from being frustrated, because I'm like, I see it here, why can't you see it? And they see it here, but actually it's in the middle. And having those understanding helps me navigate my path to the actual point, and them knowing about my diagnosis helps them navigate to the middle point where we can actually come to I'm getting a little distracted when it comes to the point that we can both perceive each other to our best point of view, from our best. Like, I know that this is what I meant, but the way I act, like, it comes across as this, and that's not okay. But when I put these lenses in between, it helps them to come closer, and it helps me to go closer, and I say, like, okay, it might come across this, even though this is not what I mean, but because of this and this, given their prior experience, people out in the world in general, and the way I acted, even though I did not mean it, it may come across as this. It helps me to navigate to the middle point, and it doesn't matter if I'm high functioning or low support need. It's the fact that being understood properly is what matters to me the most. That's why it is important to me for having the proper diagnosis, because I don't want to keep on blaming myself for not being able to connect, for not being able to be quote-unquote normal, for being demanding, unreasonable, ungrateful, unable to socialize properly, unable to keep up with social norms, values, all the other stuff. Time concern, time. That's a big thing for me. one of the biggest thing that I struggle with maintaining time commitments, always running behind or running too early. Those comes to me as like little taints of incapability, skill issues, which is skill issues. The problem with skill issues in general and mine is that disability. Skill issues you can practice, you can work on, you can be better. Discipline, you can practice, you can try, you can be better. The problem with being neurodivergent or disability is no matter how much you practice, it does not help the way it's supposed to. No matter how much you try, discipline, this and that, it just doesn't work the way it's supposed to, doesn't help the way it's supposed to, the way it does for others. It doesn't do it for you. And that's when you start asking yourself, where am I getting wrong? What is wrong with me? Why I am not seeing the changes? Why am I so different from rest of the people, the community? Why does it work for everyone else but not for me? And that's where the frustration comes, which is a very bad place. Because from frustration, it starts spiraling, and spiraling is not a good thing, because it's a one-way door to heaven or unheaven. When you spiral, you don't realize how fast or how slow you're moving, but you end up being there very fast. When you spiral on a positive spin, it becomes fast, quick, and overwhelmingly positively joyful. And the opposite goes the same way as well. And to stop that spiraling from happening, either too much, too less, too good, too bad, too fast, too slow, too soon, too late, it's important that we know, you know, people around us know the lenses we have in front of us, and those lenses helps us keep grounded. It helps us see through things properly. It shifts the perspective, where there is better, where there is worse. No matter which way is going, it keeps us the anchors to not slip through it too prematurely. And it's frustrating when you have so many words in your vocabulary. You know how to articulate, you know how to make sentences so well, so prophetically, profoundly, proudly, proportionately, preposterously, prosely well, and then all on a sudden you get hit by an emotion and you are non-verbal. You can't think of one single word. You can say it all just keeps on getting clammed up. Doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense. It's hard not to wonder what's wrong with you. what's not wrong with you, and it's frustrating. There's so many things inside me, but I cannot speak. I cannot let it come outside. Like, I just can't. It just does not. It's kind of like you can see all of it right inside the box, like it's a glass in front of you, like it's all blocked. Like in that big aquarium, you see all the water fish and everything. The fish might try to get outside, but it's inside the aquarium. And that's how I see it. That's how I see my emotions, my words inside. They're all there, but I cannot let it through. And I wish, as the glass helps us to see through the water and the aquarium, the fish, or words, the emotion, I wish people were able to see my emotions and my words through that glass aquarium, but it's not a glass. So you can't see. I just come off as closed, as someone who is not logically emotional enough or emotionally logical enough. You know, this word enough almost, it's like, oh, too hurtful. Almost enough. Good enough. Too. Almost enough. Too. These words are very hurtful to me. Very, very, very hurtful. So, in an infinitive of too. Too. Too good. Too intense. Too complicated. Too logical. Too emotional. Or perhaps the other way around. This is what I've been finding my whole life. Almost too and enough. These 3 words completely changes how you use it, the meaning, but these 3 words is an infinitive. I'm losing my words right now. It's too many things, too many emotions, too many situations that's coming up that I wish I could speak about openly with all my articulation, words, and IQ. But when I try to, I just can't. Blank out, zone out. Like a blank slate. Blank space, nothing in there. Everything is there. It's kind of like, you know, you have seen those suits in the Psycho movies, white suit, white room, your mouth is blocked, your hand is blocked, and you're chained, and you're moving. I was trying to speak, but you can't, and that's exactly how I feel. I'm trying to move, I'm trying to explain, but it's all bottled up. I can't speak. And That's why I just swallow it down. Crying is easier than speaking. Speaking is easier than crying. And when you're in a middle point where trying to think if you want to cry or if you want to speak, and you just say that both are equally hard and nothing is happening or coming to you. I wish someone could get inside the aquarium chamber and get to see my emotions and my thoughts and my words, like the way they do through the glasses. They could see how many words, emotions, thoughts I have for them, how much I cherish. All of those are memories. Instead of me trying to fight out the floodgate of bringing one fish and 1 ounce of water, once at a time, like normal people do. That's hard. Can't do normal people thing. And I think that would be my biggest mistake and flaw that I can't avert. Like normal expected ways, the way normal people do. And that's not a good feeling, knowing that you're probably never going to be like others, be normal the way everyone wants you to be. That's hard. Even with all of your talents or lack of talents and everything, when you know that it's the one single thing a human being craves the most is to be fully seen, be heard, and connect with others. You're never gonna be able to do it. It's hard. That's when you start questioning yourself. What am I? Where am I? Why am I? And that's when the levels come handy. That's when the levels come to show you that you are exactly who you are. You are exactly what you are, and you are exactly what you're meant to be. That's when the levels show you that yes, it makes sense. Yes, that's normal for you. Yes, it's normal for normal people to see you that way. It's normal for others to perceive you. As if you're not regular, you're an alien. Because perhaps to them, that's the best they can do to connect with you. To see you as an alien helps them connect with you better then see you as one of their own, because they don't see themselves the way they see you. So it's that dissonance of seeing each other in the mirrors. Not like the mirror, you look into it, but you don't see yourself, you see someone else. And that's how the society, the people, the perception works. They want to see exact reflection of them when they look into other people. But they can see that in you because you are not exactly like them. And when people see that they are not looking exactly what they wanted to look at, they start freaking out, they start rejecting, they start revoking, and that's when you feel the most disconnected and isolated from others. And that's why it's important for them to know that you are fundamentally different and you're not gonna look like their mere reflection in the mirror. So when they look at you and they see something different as expected, it's easier for them to accept you, and it's easier for you to accept them, and it's easier for you to accept yourself. It's easier for you to learn and know that that's how I'm being perceived, that's how they perceive me, that's how I'm being seen, and that's okay. That's the norm, that's how it's supposed to be. I'm a red ball in millions of sea of green balls, and that's the norm, that's the normal. I was born as a red ball, but I didn't know that I was born as a red ball, because everyone wanted to look at me through the green lens, and red and green are the opposite side on the spectrum of the color wheel. So they thought maybe they are looking at the green ball, but they're perceiving as it's red because there is something going on in the lighting. So they kept on changing the light, and no matter which light they put you under, you kept on looking different. And they kept on telling themselves maybe there is something wrong the way they're looking at you. So they kept on pulling out different lenses to see the correct you, but the correct lens is that seeing you as you. The correct lens is knowing that you are the red ball. You are you. You are the red ball. And it did not need them to put out different lights and lenses and everything to know that you're red. They just needed the fundamental information to know that they were right, that they were looking at you at red ball. So they finally stopped looking for lenses and different glasses and settings to find the green in you. They didn't need the green. They didn't need to see the green. They needed to learn the information that you are red and that's correct, and what they are seeing is the right thing, is the cognitive dissonance. They needed that to get rid of their cognitive dissonance the same exact way you needed to know that you were red, to get rid of the cognitive dissonance that they were feeling and you were feeling. And that's how the labels are important to us, and that's how we try to call ourselves autistic, audhd, ADHD. That's why we bring out the labels, not because we want to be cool or want our disability cookies, because we want to be seen the way we are, for who we are, for what we are, for how we are. And when we give it out, the first thing hand it out like a welcome card. It helps both ends to cut out the dissonance, the bullshit of trying to make each other fit in the lens and the box of yours. That's the answer. You know why you see me as you see, so that you don't go look for different answers, a little bit quirky, a little bit unique, a little bit different. Or people are like this, people are different, unique. Yes, some people are different shades of green, some people are different shades of red, but the red is still red and the green is still green. And you're trying to find the different shade of green in me, and that's not fair to you, and that's not fair to me, because we are both gonna get disappointed in the end in that process. And I'm not here to build up a disappointment or live through the disappointment, because I have had enough. I have had enough of disappointment in me, myself, my family, my community, friends, people around me. I have had enough, and I want a change. And that's why I'm more than happy to accept the level, so that I don't have to come across looking funny, acting funny or weird, and act as if that's my normal. Act as if I'm not different, weird than you, weird or different. And that's why I like it. That's why I like having my diagnosis. That's why I think being in the level brings me comfort, because I'm too worn out from living in that constant discomfort of knowing that something is not letting me blend in. Something's making me stick out no matter how much I put myself down, dim myself, turn myself into a freaking fake green ball with loads of social masking, like putting paint on myself all over my body, and still feeling suffocated, sticking out like a sore thumb. Yeah, that's why it's better to accept the levels. That's why I would rather accept my levels. I would rather accept my levels than live in a lie that are built out to make ourselves non-confrontational, because there's nothing to confront. It's the truth. That's the neurobiological truth, and it's okay. I'm okay with it. I would rather appreciate that you be okay with it as well, and not try to question myself and then making me go spiral in my head and making me ask, am I actually being weird? Am I actually that different? Or am I just being, I don't know, am I being fake, acting, using my real flaws as disability? Maybe I am actually toxic, I just don't know. Maybe I am actually a narcissist, and I'm trying to hide under this level of diagnosis. That's not a good place, because that would make me feel like I don't deserve any good things in life, because I'm such a horrible person if I'm like that. If I'm trying to discredit other people's feelings and the way they see me, and gaslighting, and reaching for things that are supposed to help me navigate my situation, the support and everything, then I am taking away resources from people who already actually need them. Am I being that bad of a person Those are spiraling thoughts. I don't need them. I don't need them in my life anymore. I don't want that. And that's why it's important that I validate my experience, my feelings, my emotions, and the way I perceive it, not how you perceive me, not how you see me, how I see myself, how I perceive myself, how I find it's bearable for me to navigate this world. And it's not for you, it's for me. And that's why it's important for me to talk and be real for a while and be emotional where my emotions really make sense to anyone. So open up that emotional floodgate and just be with it. And that's why I try so hard to understand people, because I want to understand how they think, what is their truth. Because I want to understand myself. I barely understand myself, and I'm always questioning myself because I'm traumatized from all the things I have went through, and I really know what is normal. So I put myself in other people's shoes to figure out the normal in their normal book. I didn't get the normal book. I didn't have the setup. I didn't have that in my system, the feeling of being normal. That's why I am like a scavenger hound dog, going through different scrapbooks of normal to build my own normal out of the average of all the normalcy that ever existed in the normalment of this normal world, normal people. Normal. Hate that word. Normal. I don't like it. Normal. I'm not normal. Don't want to be normal. I don't like normal. No, normal. No, nothing is normal in this world. Everything is fake, nuanced, and integrated. And all we have is to deal with it. Accepting is hard. Coming from normal childhood, normal family, normal life, normal political worldview, whatever it is going on outside in the world, nothing is normal. So please stop believing things are normal. It's not. Nothing is normal. Really nothing. Even the water is different 100 kinds now. That's not even normal. Nothing is normal. So stop chasing normal. Fitting into normal people boxes, that's not gonna happen. But all I can do is I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try understand each single person their own separate ways. And if that makes me feel manipulative, because I'm really trying to get into your mind, your heart, your soul, your brain, your perception, your way of seeing things, your way of being, your own personal experiences, that's setting up the notion that you have. If that's manipulative, then maybe I'm not a normal manipulator. I'm a normal human being who comes up as manipulator. That doesn't make sense to me either. I just want to understand people. I just want to connect. If that's too bad, I don't know what I can say or what I can do. And I start tearing up when I talk about it because I care so much with my realest, deepest shit in my heart. Like, all I want is for people to be able to communicate what they want, what they need, what they feel, what they want me to do for them. And what I can do, and if I have done something that they don't like, I am always one person to apologize and be sorry for it, understand them better, and sorry after understanding it, not before. Once I realized that I did something wrong, I acted shitty, which I have done before. I am never perfect. I never said that I was perfect. I did that without knowing. And when I understood, when I put myself in their shoes, I realized how other normal people react in certain situations. What are the normal norms are? I wholeheartedly apologized. I felt bad. I felt immensely sad. And that comes off as manipulative. Because now I am apologizing and trying to understand them so that I can manipulate them later better. No, I'm just simply sorry. I'm just simply sorry for acting like a dickhead. Because I didn't know. I didn't know what was the appropriate reaction. What was the appropriate question? What was the appropriate answer? And I reacted like an asshole. And I'm sorry. I genuinely, I'm sorry, and I feel so bad. I wish I could turn back in time with this information now and reacted differently. But that's not possible yet. All I can do is own up to it, take the accountability, and actually say that I understand it was not okay and I'm sorry. And there's this catch when you are being too apologetic, people think it as another manipulative tactic, because that's what manipulators usually do. But I'm genuinely sorry. I genuinely fucked up. I genuinely messed it up, and I'm genuinely understanding it. And this is what I have understood so far. And if there is anything more you want to add to it, please do. I want to learn. I want to know. I want to get better so I don't do it later on. Not to manipulate you, but to take care of you better, to love you better, to understand, hold, reciprocate better. And it's so hard for people to realize it when you are intellectually labeled to be intellectual, because to them it doesn't make sense why an intellectual person would make such a stupid mistake and then come across and like start frantically explaining them their side of the emotion and then saying sorry. I'm explaining my side of the emotion because I'm trying to connect my emotions to yours to understand how you felt, to feel the empathy. And the reason I'm saying bad things about me being in a bad position, like the reason I'm being so sad is because I feel how sad it has been for you. So I now relate to it as kind of the plug-in. I plugged my emotions to yours and now I can feel it. Now I can see it. Now I know why it hurts, and that hurts me now because I never needed to hurt anyone ever. That's one truth I've lived by in my life. I don't have any intention ever to hurt anyone. Never. I just don't. Why would I? I don't. I just don't understand people. If someone's super bad, worse, like the worst things people have done, I still want to understand why did they do it. If I hate it, I would still want to understand why did they do it. For me, knowing the why is very important. And even feeling intense hatred, which I barely feel, still doesn't stop me from asking the questions of why, when, how. I still want to understand. I still want to be able to decode the way of human thinking. Why? I want to know the people who go into wars, steal from the poor, do for all the worst things, the serial killers, the molesters, all of them. I don't have any. I'm genuinely disgusted, angry, mad at them, but I still want to know why do they do it. And if there is a reason, they can explain it somehow. It's not justifiable, but I hold compassion until I know, because I don't know what is their story, what made them do it. Actually, it's kind of, I just want to know before I judge something, someone properly. You say like the act and the actor are different. I want to know what made the actor do those acts. The acts are extremely insufferable. There is no way I would ever approve, support, justify, or have any positive connotation to them. But I want to know, why did the actor do that? And I would hold that compassion for the actor until I get to know it. And for some reason, I feel it's hard for me to comprehend that someone would do something just because. Without any prior trigger. I don't know how it's gonna make sense to others, but I really don't feel, I just don't feel that logically someone could be born as a horrible person and go out and do horrible things until it was enabled by other environmental factors, situations, life experience, and all those other conditions. Like, there has to be more to that. And it does not justify that they're doing it, but the fact that a person just by itself, just like that, is not hateable. Like, hate is a very, very, very strong feeling and emotion for me. And I wouldn't say that I don't hate. I hate a lot of things. And a lot of the times, I may not probably fully know things, but I have certain understanding of why did they do that, and I hate that. I hate them for doing that. Most of the times, they don't care enough. That's it. But like the big things, right? There are reasons. And for some reason, I held that empathy for everyone. I feel pity. I feel a lot of sorrow, sadness, pity, compassion, and I wish them healing. I wish them better chances, better choices. And I wish they could change and realize but just don't come off hating them. And that's exactly how much I want to learn about people. That's how much I want to understand, not to manipulate, just to understand for the sake of understanding, realizing. Yeah.